Hi everyone, my name is Leslie and I'm going to be taking you through my presentation, and the topic for today is about life without technology. So, as we all know, technology it plays a major role in our daily lives, let it be private lives or also public life. So we're gonna dive into my presentation today, and as you can see by the first slide, it's all about exploring the impact of technology. So if we can move to the second slide, it's outlined. This is what I'm going to be talking about: the introduction, our daily life without technology. How would our lives look without technology? How would education look without technology? How would health look without technology? We're going to go through all that. We're going to see how life would look like without technology in all possible aspects. So let's first define technology, right? Let me give you a debrief of technology. So technology, in just few words, these are tools that really enhances our life to be much more easier than a life without technology. So now let's go in our daily life without technology. How would our daily lives look like without technology? Let's talk about communication. Let's go back in time when technology was not part of our lives. So how would we communicate? We used to just gather in places. If let's say I want to talk to my friend, there is no phone, we were relying on, well, I wasn't born at that time, but people were relying on letters, on sending the letters, like you go and drop a letter, which is time consuming, right? Because if we can all agree to we can all agree to technology being a big part of our lives through communication, because nowadays we have phones, we can talk. If I want someone, it's just a call away. And then another point is transportations. Without technology, this is how we would move from one place to another. We would use legs to walk, because there are no trains, there are no airports, so it would airplanes, so it would be very hard for us to be moving from a place to another. Okay, so let's see education without technology. Education without technology would just be, we would rely on books, we would rely on newspapers just to get some information, just to do some researches. But as for now, which technology is a big part of our daily lives, now we rely on AI, we rely on computers that makes the work easier, makes the research easier. Because if you're in class and you don't have internet, or you're in class and you're just relying on books, on libraries, it's not going to be enough information for you to gather in order to persuade your studies or your classes. Another impact that technology has on our lives is on health and medicine. So without technology, people would just base on herbs, on trees, on plants in order to get medicine. And because there are some diseases that can just be cured from those herbs or those plants, there are these diseases that require technology, that require this type of medicine you take into the laboratory in order to produce the kind of medicine that can cure those diseases. So it really needs technology, it really needs scientists, it really needs, overall it needs technology. So yes, without technology, it would really be hard for, leave alone medicine, Also, let's take an example. You want to check for your blood pressure, or you want to check for your temperature, you know, your body temperature. How can you do that without technology? How can you do that without the equipments that require you, without the equipments that they use to measure the temperature, or to measure your to check your blood pressure? It would be a tough situation with health and medicine without technology. So with social interactions, as you can see by this picture, you can see communities gathering. All right, there is no technology. There is no way people are going to, okay, if people are gathering, someone needs to be taking note of what's being talked in the gathering, right? So as you can see by this picture, just people are they are seated. There is no, people are relying on physical gathering for socialization and support. But as for now, the technology is here. If, let's take an example, we want to gather somewhere, it's not possible, and it's not possible for all of us to gather. Maybe some of them are out of the country, the others are also out of the country, or just we're all in different places. They won't be, with technology, there won't be a need together. All we have to do is click on the Zoom, and we all gather in one place. No, not in one place, but we all gather together and talk and come to one topic. If we are maybe like this, we're presenting, it's not like all of us are in one place. I'm here, you're right there. So it's just a matter of clicking and coming to Zoom, something like that. Okay, so let's see how technology impacts economy. So without technology, we would be relying on just exchange of money. We wouldn't be knowing how much we were spending. Let me give you an example. Here in Rwanda, there is this receipt that's given to you after you purchase goods. It shows how much you spent, and also it shows you what you brought, like what you bought on the market. So it's called an EBM. It's also a technology that tracks it's like revenue, then like it's like a government revenue, but it's called an EBM, whereby you get to see how much you spent, and also you get to see what the money, your money, what did you spend it on, what did you buy. So with this EBM, it helps with also the increase in economy of the country, right? Because if you're given that EBM, the government is earning a revenue from that EBM, which is now, I would call it technology, because back then in the days it wasn't introduced here in Rwanda. So which is really a good thing, because we're tracking our how we're purchasing, and also helping and also contributing to the development of our country. Another thing that I can talk about on this slide of economic impact, in the past people used to carry money just in cash in their pockets, but nowadays that technology has been introduced. There is this mobile app, which is MTN Momo, that helps people to walk with their money, but not with cash, but with an app. So you have to download that app in order to be able to keep your money on the phone, and also help you track your money. I think that's a really nice technology that was introduced here in Rwanda. So yes, that brings us to the conclusion of this presentation. In summary, as you can see, life without technology would be, I would not use the word miserable, but would be difficult, because if you can see in all the slides, we talked about how technology really impacts our daily lives. So yes, life without technology is the life we don't want to live in, because technology makes everything easier. But as we can see, life with on another side, we can see that life without technology presents both challenges and benefits, highlighting the importance of balance. So there is some challenges and also some benefits. So if we can just reflect on everything we said, we should just appreciate both technology and traditional practices in our modern lives. So yes, I think that would be the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.